cleaning today. Or winter cleaning.
Yeah.
Because everybody's like, oh, hold my parts, bro. I'll come pick them up. Well, if you guys are watching, you know who's gonna come pick them up? Scrap metal guy. That's who's gonna come. Alright guys, check it out. Today we're working on a Mercedes Sprinter. Actually, no. Edit that. Cut. We are working on a Ford Transit. This is from one of our great customers. His name is John. He's also the owner of a beautiful Porsche 911 GT3, but this is his work vehicle, so he distributes glass. So this truck's going to be used to fill up with a bunch of hardware and stuff and transport glass to different places. But his crew that drives this truck, they always need some kind of like 110 input or some kind of household input, right? So we're going to be using the Xantrax power inverter. It's a 1,000 watt sine wave inverter. So he's going to be able to just charge maybe power tools, different things like that, electronics and different things on the road. So this is going to actually get situated right here, nice and clean, right under the seat. Got a little nub here, and I'll probably modify that, and we're going to slide this in. So this way the guys can just plug up, charge up all their stuff, and they're good to go. But these are great. We sell these for all kinds of cars, all kinds of trucks. So if you have any stuff that you want to charge on the road, like, I don't know, hand tools or anything like that, right? Or maybe you want to plug in a TV or a monitor or some kind of refrigerator or something, a cooler, you can do it off one of these. So definitely something I recommend. Power inverter. They come in all different sizes and they have all different kind of wattages for different electronics, but this should be something solid for commercial grade, so pretty dope. Happy to hook this up for the guy. Alright guys, so we just finished up today the Subaru Baja. It's a 2005. Very similar to like an Outback or a Legacy, but it has the pickup in the back, so they're pretty rare. Gentleman brought this into us and he wanted to, you know, lift it up a little bit, make it a little more adventure worthy. So we did a Anderson design, 2-inch lift kit on it, fresh shocks, springs, stabilizer end links, and a couple of bushings, I think, just to refresh the suspension and bring it up. It has a set of BF Goodrich KO2 tires and a method wheel. We also have a nice little light rack in the front here with some hella lights, all halogen, nice and clean, so it's a little more period correct. We've got a nice Thule rack up top, so the stance is a little higher. We'll definitely be able to get through the trails a little better, and we're excited to see what he does with this one. But he's a cool client. He actually owns a bike shop in Brooklyn, so you know he's going to be taking his bikes out on some cool trails, so we're happy to finish it up for him. Really sick though. Yeah, really cool. Check it out. Little 15s on it. Let's see. What size do we run? I think 15. Yeah, so 15-inch wheel here. It's sized down. I think the original size is about a 16, so we dropped the wheel down a little bit and brought the diameter of the tire up about 1 inch overall. So he's got some nice sidewall. So he's going to be good. If you guys see in here, we just did a nice spring and shock refresh. So he's going to be riding quite well. We just finished up taking it to a shop around the block for an alignment, and I drove it before. It drove really well, so I think he's going to be quite happy. Shit is fire though. Dope. Very dope, right?
Little beefcake cool over here, yeah?
Yeah, it's nice, man. Beefy. Beef, bro. Check it out, we did a nice head unit too. So we gave him a nice like Pioneer head unit with CarPlay, and the USB inputs right there to the left of the shifter. Super flush, super clean. Just bring a little more technology into this bad boy for him. For all your off-road guys too, CarPlay just started accepting the Gaia app. So for anybody out there who uses Gaia, it's a great off-road mapping app, and you can actually use it through your CarPlay, so that's pretty sweet. I'm excited about that. When I'm out there, I'll use mine. That's really cool.
It is super cool wire crimper, some really cool sockets to work on my turbo, and then
Oh, so you're getting shit for your car, not even the customers. Oh, okay.
So we got Rex's 4Runner here. This is a 2nd gen 4Runner, 1994. We're doing a lot of great overland stuff for it, so Rex can take this truck and travel to California. It's always been his dream to drive across country, so we're going to help him do that. So first and foremost, this truck has a dual battery setup. So we did a double Odyssey battery setup. So he has one battery for all his auxiliary stuff and his initial battery to start up as a primary. So that second battery, sometimes a little tricky trying to fit it in certain places. So what we did here is we had Dennis fab up a really dope custom battery tray. So we made this from scratch, nice and clean. And we're gonna be taking this, and we're gonna be situating this right under the chassis, right here. Right here against the frame. So the battery's gonna sit nice and high, and they are waterproof, so it should be totally fine. And this way it'll be able to be tucked up inside, nice and clean, away from anything that he might come into contact with when he's off-roading. But that's pretty much one of the only spots that we can fit it. Remember, on the interior, it's tough to do because we outfitted it with a whole bed and a sleeping setup, so there's really not much space. But down here should work quite fine, and it should work really well. But this is a pretty cool battery tray. I just have to give Dennis some props on that one. So he did quite a good job. Don't tell him if you want. Be like, yo, if you want, you can pull up here if it's better for you.
Oh, yo, is you hype,
That's
kid?
sweet. So that's our buddy from Jack of all trades, Overland. This guy's really cool. He's a recon Marine, and he started his own rooftop tent company. So he made a really kick-ass hard shell rooftop tent, and I was like first on the pre-order list, or one of the first on the pre-order list, I should say. So it's really cool. This guy actually drove up from Virginia to personally deliver this piece here. He also brought another one so I can have it in stock just in case I end up making a sale off my rooftop tent. I have another one to supply a nice lucky customer. So we're excited to finally get this. It's been a few months in the making, and he has finally finished his product, and it came out just right, worked out all the kinks. So he went into production, and I'm probably going to be, I don't know, maybe number 4 or 5 to have this on the rooftop, which is cool. Probably first guy in New York, which is cool, but you know, it is pretty sweet. So we're excited for it. We're excited to get out and do a lot of adventuring and camping out in this thing and see what it's all about. So we're ready to go. So he's right outside. He's got a trailer, ready to go. Excited.
It's like a kid on
It's very
Christmas.
rare. It's rare that the staff, well, not the staff, you get a bunch of fucking car parts all the time.
At least like 4 or 5 car parts a month, dude.
Yeah. See, I get some parts, but the thing is, I'll get them, but it's almost impossible to get them installed. Some stuff I can do myself, cool, but most of the time, Brian helps me out with the big stuff, and we got to stay late after work, but sometimes we're tired, so we're just happy that you know, we got this part coming up, so we're ready to go. Hell yeah, dude. Yo, this is fucking sweet, bro.
This dude is so hype right now.
I've never been so excited to just go like sleep in something, you know?
Yeah,
It's like you get it, and then you sit in it, and you're like, all right, this is it. You know what I mean? Like, come on, slumber.
we were trying to install one yesterday to one of the guys that purchased it, and
Right.
he was just like, ugh, and laid back on it.
Oh shit, Borla Trades Overland, check it out. We got 3 rooftop tents in the house. 1 for me, 2 for a couple lucky customers. Let us know who might be interested. We're gonna install mine and get some good parts for this stuff.
Yeah, one of my buddies was like,
Alright guys, check it out. So, I know a little while ago I was showing you that custom battery tray that Dennis fabbed up for us, but here's the final product. So we have the battery tray here holding the Odyssey battery. This is an AGM battery, so these can be positioned on its side or straight up, so it's a good position right here. And we're going to be able to grab our terminals and run this as a second battery. So I think it's great positioning right there. Nice, let's go to the front. Nice. Check it out. So the primary battery is the same battery, an Odyssey AGM, right under here. So remember, you have 2 batteries, one for primary use to start up your vehicle, and the other one is all the auxiliary. So if there's a refrigerator, any kind of lighting, anything that's going to draw any power while the vehicle's off, it's going to be pulled off that second battery. There's a great piece here by Red Arc. So tomorrow we're going to be installing this. This is the isolator. This is the brain that makes all that happen. So this little module, what this does, or this isolator, when you shut the ignition off, it sends all the power or the connection straight to the second battery. So this will actually isolate the primary battery when the ignition's off. So this is kind of what makes that all happen. This specific wire right here is for solar. So you can actually run this to a solar panel. So it'll keep the second battery consistently charged for you. So if you're camping out in a nice sunny area, then you'll be able to constantly, you know, recharge your battery. So, you know, it's it's pretty cool. But I have one of these in my truck. It works out great. I've done tons of trips with them, great road trips, a lot of camping, and it's always served me well. So I definitely recommend this Red Arc. It's the way to go. A lot of the guys use this in Australia too, so it's kind of like the mecca of overlanding. So you know this is good stuff. Check it out. This is our sleeping provision. So this is a 4-seater truck. So you want to be able to keep these back seats for passengers, but at the same time, you want a good spot to sleep, right? So we do this design for a few people. We've done a Land Rover recently, tons of Toyotas, and even a Tahoe, I believe. So this is a bed setup that we made. So in the 4Runner, these will flip up, this will flip down, all right? Then you have your setup back here, where you can fold this panel straight. So now you have a full bed. If you go around back, you can see the whole setup. So down here, there'll be enough space for some storage. Maybe we can do a draw system where we pull something out like a small oven, or maybe some kind of, you know, camera gear or something, because Rex is a phenomenal photographer. But yeah, the whole idea is to just have a nice platform. Now, we didn't want to raise this too high because you still want a little headroom when you're inside. There's not much room in this vehicle, period, but you also don't want to bring this up so high that the passenger's crammed in there. So we figured like this was a good height. It's right above the wheel wells. So you have enough space for storage, but you have enough space you can kind of like sit up in here and do what you got to do. But it's a really nice setup. We did it in like a nice tan carpeting to try to match the rest of the interior. So I think you should be pretty happy. If he does some kind of like, you know, memory foam mattress or any kind of these like self-inflating mattresses that you use for camping, that should be totally fine. We got a lot of questions though about this setup, like, yo, if he's gonna be traveling across country and going all these places, you know, if he gets stuck in cold weather, what's he gonna do, right? If you're camping in this thing, you're not gonna leave the truck on all night. So the whole idea with this dual battery is that second battery, remember how we said is gonna power all these auxiliary functions? Well, it's gonna actually power a diesel heater. So we're gonna have a small heater that you see right here, and this heater runs off a diesel tank. There's a lot more components to this, but I'll keep it simple, so this way it's easy. And the whole idea is you fill this up with diesel. This is basically a motor inside. It'll take that diesel and convert it into dry heat, and we can pump that into the cabin. This will all pull off the second battery. It's super efficient. It doesn't pull much amperage at all. So you can have this on for, you know, maybe, you know, a couple of nights before you'd really have to, you know, recharge and start up again. So this 10-liter tank, which is maybe almost 3 gallons or so, should get maybe, I don't know, 3 or 4 nights of camping out of this thing, which is pretty sufficient. So, you know, anytime he goes to the gas station and fills up the truck, you can fill this up with some diesel. So the whole idea is this system, we're gonna build this inside a box. So we can take the box and we can drop it on the roof. The way that we would get the heat into the cab would be through the window. Now, we're not cutting a hole into the glass, we're not doing anything like that, but I do want to show you a piece that we made that's going to allow the heat from the heater to come from the outside into the cabin safely. I'll show you that now. All right, let me get that. All right, check it out. So this is the idea. This is still in the making here, but this is plexi. We're going to do this in black. We have a nice hole in here, right? So if you see, it's like triple paned. So 3 layers, and then we have this little divot right here. So that area is gonna be where this window is actually gonna slide up into. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna drop your window down, and then you're gonna set this panel right inside, and then slide your window straight back up in. So it's gonna hold it just like that, right? And then you're gonna have this hole as a pass through. So that hole is going to take, it's going to take your duct from your heater that we'll have on the rooftop tent, send it right into the duct, and then heat up the cabin efficiently, and he doesn't have to have the vehicle running. So it's kind of involved, but when it's set up, it's pretty simple. So not only will he have the duct going in for the heat, he will have a small wire coming in to plug into the 12-volt source, which is the second battery for power. And then lastly, he'll have a small controller with a wire into the vehicle so you can control the temperature and basically a thermostat. So it's gonna be pretty good. Hell yeah.
Hell.
That's how you camp. That's how you glamp. You know what I'm saying?
What?
Glamorous camping. Glamping.
Oh.
Right? So, if we need to reconstruct this, all we do is take this panel, fold it back, and then you got your seats right back. So, pretty efficient. And then in the back, it just becomes some kind of storage shelf, and you can still put your stuff back here, anything under at the same time. So this is coming out really good. I'm pretty excited. These nice cutouts are really clean, so you can still get to these panels, which I really like. So these guys, did a great job. So we're excited for Rex to take this on his adventures.
Get my lighting right for this one. This bitch got me hard. Wait, close the hood back, son. Fuck.
Sorry. Nice. All right, last one of the day. We're gonna wrap up with this one. We're delivering this car Friday to the customer. He's gonna come pick it up. It's been here for a few weeks. This is basically our E46 M3 Convertible Refresh. So the car was in good condition, for sure. Mechanically, it was sound, but it was a little beat up here and there, and he wanted some performance parts. So we did a little OEM Plus setup and helped him out. So first, the front fascia. So both these bumpers, front and rear, were pretty torn up from rock chips, from parking, things like that. So we had a local body shop up the block respray the bumpers for us, so it looks nice and clean. The headlights are original, but we did replace the lenses and the clear corners. So I changed these corners for him. The old ones were pretty fogged up. The lenses were quite fogged too. The thing is with these cars is, I feel like the best quality headlight is the OEM headlight, the original headlight. So we wanted to keep that in the vehicle, but still refresh it. So rather than just like buffing out the original lens and trying to get a clear look, we decided to replace the lenses. On the E46s, they're pretty cool because they're designed for you to actually remove the lens and replace it when they get tattered and torn. When they get
Worn?
Worn, yes. When they get worn from road use. Cool. Clip that in there. Clip that in there.
SAT vocabulary.
Yeah, this one worked out great. So we replaced the lenses. It gives it such a great look. And you want to keep the original backing because it has the factory HID, factory ballast. You don't want to mess with any of that. It works really great in this car, so we'll let that rock. Looks quite good. If you move around right here, we did some black vents for him. We do have the black kidney grills coming in this morning, so for anybody watching this is like, why do you have the chrome grills? These will be changed tomorrow morning, but they're going to come UPS, so we're excited about that. Changed the wheels out from an OEM wheel to an Apex wheel. These are Apex FL5s. This is a 18.9.5 and 18.10.5. So quite a nice wheel size, nice and wide, a little wider than factory specs. Gives the car a nice stance with still providing a good amount of meat on the tire. So we're running a Michelin Pilot Sport, which is a great summer tire. Fortunately now it's the winter, we'll probably be taking these off, but at least for the summer he'll be all set up. So we did some brake service for him, painted the calipers red just to spruce it up. The rear bumper's painted as well. As you see by the rear bumper here, we did lace it up with a Borla exhaust. So this is a super clean exhaust from Borla. Sounds great. Sounds awesome on the S54. Quality part. Fitment was wonderful. Really good setup. We also painted the back bumper for him. It does sport an AFE cold air intake. We did set it up with a Shark tune. Shark tune is great. It's just a small OBD tune. Throw it into the OBD, program it in the car. Makes a couple more horsepower, which is really cool. Steering wheel was pretty tattered as well, just from use, so we restitched the steering wheel for him. I want to show you guys that. So, here's your steering wheel. Super clean, freshly done. We even redid the M stitching for him, so it retains it. Heat. Yeah, other than that. Also, suspension-wise, if you guys can see, it is a little lower. It sits on a KWV2, so it's got a nice setup, nice stance to it, but it feels really, really confident on the road. And the quality's there, the ride quality's there. It really didn't lose much of that, like, Beamer feel. So, it only enhanced it. So I can't say that it's very rough or anything like that. I test drove it. Drives great around Astoria, so the customer's gonna be quite happy. That's why I like putting an 18-inch wheel with a little rubber, because like 19s would look sweet on this. I've seen people do 20s, but the 18 is kind of like more of a functional thing. It's gonna be a lighter weight wheel, allow the guy to really, really enjoy the car and not have to worry so much about the potholes and the ride quality. So that's pretty cool. But it is an Amola red, BMW Amola red interior. So it's a pretty cool color combo. This is 2006 also, so for anybody watching it is BMW. It's the last year of the E46 M3. It is a 6-speed, so I'm sure in the future this will hold some value for sure. It's a good car. All right, guys, that wraps up another episode of The Daily Grind here at the Custom Shop. We really, really appreciate you guys watching. We hope you loved all the prior episodes. If you haven't subscribed, please hit that subscribe button. Drop a like, drop a comment, share it with your friends if you like cars. Peace out. We'll see you next week. Are we on? Are we filmed?
I mean, it's not
Filming.
really film. It's
Filming.
it's digital now.
It's filming.
We're recording.
We're recording. You're right. We're not filming anymore.
Yeah, it's not. It's 2020 now.
Is it?
I mean, yeah, it's.
I think this is the year no one will forget.
Yeah, it's terrible.
This is the trash year.
Yeah, it's awful.
This is the trash year.
Literally the worst.